Hello lovely people, this is the future James. Just a quick update that this video is really aimed at whether you're thinking about going tubeless. You've got to watch this video first. Make sure you watch all the video. Hayden. And if you're going to criticise me, make sure you watch the video as well, because I criticise myself in all of this. So I don't need you trolls criticising me. Anyway, back to the vid. Hello lovely people. Hope you're well. Saturday, sacrilegious. It's actually a lovely day and I'm not out on the bike. But that's for one reason. I haven't sorted the Cannondale out. So I've got to sort the rear tyre out. I've got to put it tubeless. So I thought I'd drag you along for the experience so you could all have a bit of a laugh at my expense. All right. So anyway, let's get into this. Welcome to James Social Cycling. I'm going to sort the rear tyre out, take the TPU tube out, and I am going to set it up tubeless. So one of the things you need to make sure is obviously, one, you've got your sealant. Two, you've got your subscriber gift of the Siraj, and this bloody great big thing, the Joe Blow boost, which is obviously going to help me seat the tyre. I should be riding today, it's lovely. Right. I obviously need the tyre glider, if I can find it in here. I bet you any money it's where I expected it to be, in here. Anybody worrying why I've got too many bags? Maintenance, snacks, camera gear, alright? I'm not a tourer, but I do need some bags, alright? And if you want to know Speed Rockers SKS, I recommend them. Very much so. Tyre glider as well, recommended. Anyway, I'm yapping on. I should sing to you really. What song shall I sing today? Should give you a tune. I think my Barbie girl in my last video, if you haven't seen it by the way, the chain fast, check it out. It's my last video. So anyway, I'm going to go let the air out of this, get the tube out, and see if I can sort this out. So some of you know that I'm obviously had a little bit of trouble with my first tubeless experience. Well, I'm hoping that it was only just a minor blip. But then the last time I tried to go tubeless, it was a complete and utter pain in the backside. And that's me being very polite when it comes to my language. And that's not because of some trolls keep trolling me on it. There's only a small channel to get the tyre into when you're putting the tyre on. So yeah, it can be a little bit like that really. So anyway, there may be something I haven't done, and that is there may be some cleaning up of the tyre, because if anybody remembers, I literally had to put the inner tube in. So this could mean a little bit of a tyre clean to start off with. Yeah, doesn't feel very nice in here. So here's the Pirelli TPU. This is the Cintrato. It's quite wet, which means I'll have to do a little bit of a clean up. As you can see, sealant all the way around. So I'm going to give this a bit of a scrub make sure I can clean it up. And then I've seen a few cuts in the tyres, so I'm going to make sure they're okay. Right, don't forget you've got to put the different valve back in. Tubeless valve. I'm going to take the core out. I don't know if that's the best thing I should be doing, but no, it's your choice, but so I just got to, because of my bit of an injury from my accident, keeps flaring up when I go and do some digging. Just try and make sure that the tyre's in the centre, and then it should just make things a little bit easier when you're putting the tyre back on. As I said, that's the only problem with this, as I said to you, the centre channel on this wheel is can be a bit of a pain, and it's only making it worse because I've got bloody sore wrist. But anyway, job done. Now people, we've got to you've got a charge and a boost. And what you actually do with that is you've got your inflate, and your charge. So you charge whatever PSI, and then you go, and when you're just pumping the tyre up, you leave it where it is on inflate. Ready? Steady? The problem is you don't want to go too high because you might bust the tyre. Right, where are we? Let's have a look. Not sure how much of that you got, but at 160 psi booster, it's not going. And this is the issue I had when I first tried to go tubeless before. The tyre, because of the channel inside the 25, painful. So we are going to try water washing up liquid. It's drying. That was 150. It is and it isn't. So I'm going up to 160 again. If you're thinking of doing tubeless, it's a great video to watch. I mean, you'd say to carry on, but no, I can't see myself doing anything wrong here, all right? I can't see myself anything wrong. All this is doing is validating the time I spent 2.5 hours trying to seat these tyres on these wheels. I don't know, a couple of years ago maybe. I ended up having 2.5 hours of footage I just deleted because it was embarrassing. But as I can see, I have the right tools. Wish my wrist was a fucking sore. One more, and then I'm gonna go and have some lunch and stick to tubes. I'm going to inflate this just a little bit more. Well, the huffing and puffing got me there in the end, but we're still not finished because I've still got to put the sealant in. I'm knackered. That was hard work on what I'm trying to do, is trying to relax the wrist, which isn't working. Hot water, washing up liquid, holes, jizz everywhere. That's all you bloody need is jizz. I'm so lucky because I was literally going to give up. It might have been cheap, but you like to look after your stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pump 60. I think it's correct, but 60 to 80, I think. So I think 60 to 80 mil. I'm not sure if that's too much, but I'm going to put 60 mil, which is the full tube, and then pump it into the tyre, put the valve core in, swish it around, pump it up, and see what happens. Wish me luck, people. Wish me luck. Remember, I'm no expert, all right? And don't forget those people. Why am I taking advice from some overweight cyclist? It's because I don't just ring up the LBS when I need something done. All right, so let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to give this a bit of a shake. So I'm using stands. I don't know if that's the correct one to use, but this is not Stands Race, which are all the crap in it. This is Stands. Just plain old Stands. And let's just use gravity. Should we use gravity as our friend? God. Let's have a look. I'm trying to have this high up so you can also see it. Right, so I now have sealant in the tyre. This is a bit long-winded, people, but as I said to you, I am no spurt. I know I've got to pump it up and do this, but let's see what I can get out of this now, shall we? What I'll do is pump this up. Hold on. Let's get that sealed. Any more? Sounds like it's sealed. The dyno plug, shouldn't I? Just in case. One dyno plug. Okay. So I'm up to 40 psi. Or a bit less now. So you can just see there the dyno plug. Bigger than I thought. Give it a swish around, because you're obviously going to have some other areas that might be giving out. And that was obviously the one that went. Yeah, the wheel's seated nicely, so that was obviously the one that went on me when I went out, had the puncture. This is going to be a video, are you thinking of going tubeless? Because to be honest with you, as you saw, I was about to give up, and it was only just by luck that it kept on going. So I'm going to leave that at 40. I am going to go and have some lunch. What time are we on? 2:30. It's going to start getting dark, especially in the back garden very soon. So this is the dyno plug. So what you get with a dyno plug is quite expensive, but what you get with that is you get That's the plug I just used. So you get a standard plug, which basically pop in, pull out, and theoretically that pulls out, and there's a nice bit of on the end there. So then what you can do is then turn that around, and there you have another one. But on the other end you have the same plus a nice big plug, just in case you get something that needs a bigger plug, which maybe would have been the case for that if it was a little bit bigger. All right, and you can buy a pack of these spare. It is the tool of choice, people, for tubeless running. So keep that in mind as well, just a little tip, all right? But is tubeless worth it? Is it? I know a lot of you out there can say no, and I may agree with you. I needed to reflect on this, had to reflect. The biggest problem that we've got here are the time it took. I was probably out there from, well, I've just eaten, just finished eating, it's 3:20, and if you remember, it was probably about 2 o'clock when I went in and cooked, and I was probably out there for, again, probably a couple of hours. The problem with that is it's a couple of hours of sorting a tubeless tyre out that would have taken me 10-15 minutes, taking out a dead tube and putting another tube in, putting it back on the wheel, job's a good one, all right? So, and the other problem I had with the whole scenario, farcical, was that the one hole that I had in the tyre was probably the only puncture I ever had, and that was on that ride where I had the absolute hell of tubeless. Okay, so if I wake up tomorrow and that tyre is flat, you know what I'm doing. I am going to go out there at probably an hour or so before I have to set off, and I'm going to check that tyre. If it's flat, it's done. I'm done. In reflection, I have to say it's just mind blowing. It's just, I can't, you know, being that was the first time it's not the first time I'd done a tube tyre. So as though I will turn around to a lot of you and say, tell me what I was doing wrong. Okay, but tell me what I was doing wrong. The only thing I can see I was doing wrong was not using soapy water from the word go, okay? And the amount of times that I used no soapy water to the amount of times I used soapy water, you've obviously, I will be making sure that that's in the video, because, you know, at the end of the day, it was an effort. It's just, and what for? For what should have been a load of punctures that I didn't know about. But to be honest with you, I checked all the cuts in the tyres, and there was only one, and even that would let by, even with a small dyno plug in there. So, but let's see how that goes. Is it worth it, people? Is it worth the hassle? You might, as I said, you might be lucky and go out and find that you've got 4 or 5 punctures that you didn't know about. But for some reason, I'm not finding that. That was one puncture. It was obviously a big cut, so it obviously let the tyre down. But you've got to reflect on that. Tubes, it'll take you a mucky 10 minutes, 15 tops to change a tube round, pump it back up with a CO2 canister, and you're on your way again. With the TPUs, you can carry 2 of the bloody things. So, you know, and if you wanted to, if you got, you know, you could literally fix the cut in 5 minutes, put the new tube in, and within half an hour, you know, you've still got another spare tube in the bloody bag, if that second tube does go. But anyway, you know, I'm just saying, on reflection, is it worth it? I know a lot of you think it isn't, and to be honest with you, I'm
kind of with you, but I want to know what you think. So this isn't a tubeless versus tubes video. It is just that if you've just seen the hassle and the effort that I've just been through trying to do one tyre, you know, and the 2.5 hours of video footage. It's not 2.5 hours of time when I first tried to go tubeless. It was 2.5 hours of video footage, and then I deleted it all because it was just literally, as you saw, I was about to give it up. I was going to give in. Down below, people, all right? I just wanted to reflect on what's going on. This is really an eye-opener for me. It's an eye-opener for anybody that is thinking of going tubeless. Are you thinking of going tubeless? Have I swayed your mind into not going tubeless? Or have I given you the idea that actually, you know, because I'm not going to be able, if that, like the tyre did on my ride, where it had gone flat and I couldn't inflate it, I'm going to have to put, if that happens again, I'm going to have to put a tube in there. It's going to be a mucky affair again. Comment down below. Look, the effort I've just put in for you people is worth either a coffee or a thanks. All right? It is worth it. Look, lots of love, people. I appreciate that this may be a little bit of a divide, but let's have a chat. Don't. Your opinion matters, but it doesn't matter to the point where your opinion is the only thing that matters. We all have our opinion on this. You have your experiences, others have their experiences, and I'm trying to say to people, it's not as easy as people think. You know, I've seen some videos where people have put tyres on in seconds. You know, is it the tyre and the wheel setup that I've got? I have no idea, but I love the wheel. The wheel is bomb-proof for me. Those Pro 4 Hopes and the 25s are brilliant, and I wouldn't change them for the world. And I love the Pirelli tyres as well. So comments down below. Let's get a discussion going. You know, let's talk about this. Don't forget, I need a like as well. It does well for the video, and I need a lot of caffeine for this video. All right, lots of love, people. Hopefully, I'll see you on the road very soon.